Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Firebug. You probably read the title. If you don't know what this channel is and all that, I'm a pretty small channel, and I usually make Smite content. I've been making Smite content for years on this channel, but I'm just gonna say I'm not having fun playing this game. I actually find myself getting mad a lot, and I don't think it's helping to get mad all the time. When I beat up a game, I want to enjoy it because I've always enjoyed Smite. I've been playing it for I want to say 11, 12 years now. Probably almost 13. I can't remember exactly, but just not really having fun playing this game. This Thor gameplay, I did pretty well. Even though, spoiler alert, we still lose. But I just wanted to show you this Thor gameplay, jungle. I was trying to get carry, and I was trying to get a recording of... Funny enough, this might sound really stupid to some people, but I kind of wanted to try something fun, like the Morgan ADC, right? And I tried to get a recording out of that, but it just didn't work out well because my first match, I been lately I've been getting all in matches, and most of my teammates just kind of leave because they see Morgan ADC doesn't work. And then they just leave for some reason. It's so weird, even though I've been testing it out. And I was like, this would be kind of fun video. Why not? Just keeping my hopes up, right? Keeping the one last thing to keep playing this game, right? Just to try to have fun. But no, and the ADC Morgan, it kind of did work. It was just more of just experimenting than anything else. Kind of like Jimbalanque jungle, right? Like, that's unheard of, and he's playing it, But I think that's the beauty of Smite 2, is there's a lot of builds that you could just try out a build, see if it works, whatever. I usually just play casual and conquest. I was trying to my hardest to use action cam, and I've got used to it at this point. Ever since they did the update, I made a video talking about action cam and what's the pros and cons and all that. So, but I dedicated myself to keep using action cam because I wanted that new player experience, and then maybe at the end of the year be like, okay, this is what I've learned, blah blah blah. And plus, I played tons of Marvel Rivals, so this action camera doesn't hinder me at all. I know, don't use action cam. I know that. I was just using it so I can try in the future to help others, because seeing the new player's perspective helps you understand what they're going through. So that's what I'm trying to do, right? But I totally understand. It gives you a disadvantage. There's no benefits of using action cam. All that. Just to clarify. But the main reason that I'm telling you all this is because I've seen a lot of people in the comments will come and go in my channel, and they kind of talk about stuff like that. They're like, don't use action cam, don't play this, don't do that. And it's like, I don't do whatever I want. I don't give a fuck. But the main reason is just that I'm just not really having fun in this game. And I think the really turning point, and I've had this feeling for quite some time, right? Because I was debating, I was like, oh, maybe I can just tough it out next week. Oh no, this new content, new god's gonna come out, blah blah blah. And then try them out, right? I'm not a big fan of Sylvanas, so I didn't really try them out, but I was a big fan of the other gods. And I understand, lately I kind of just been focusing on other games in my channel. but I'll make Smite content. Like I'll still make it, right? But the reason why it's such a lack of Smite content is because I'm just not really enjoying Smite 2 a whole lot. And I think one of the big factors was when they updated the game and they got rid of anti-heal. And I know some people on YouTube, Twitch, whatever, they're like, well, I generally like the, you don't have to buy anti-heal. And I totally agree with it, right? Like, I was like, okay, maybe I'll give it a shot. Maybe it's not that bad. It's not as bad, but some games, man, I'm going to tell you, seeing a full team that are just self-heals, so, for example, Baron, Raw, Sylvanas can heal. There was a full team of just self-healing. I can't remember the other two, but I've seen a lot of those. I've seen people abuse, like, just straight up with hunters, with the Riptide or Riptalon and Devourer's Gauntlet, and they just build that, and it feels like you can't kill them. All the other star items for carry, if you're not going for, was it Death Stool, then yeah, you're throwing your game. Because, like, there's no anti-heal, so you're just going to self-sustain as much as you can. And I understand that, yes, you could do more damage because, there's no... Since there's no anti-heal, you can dish out more damage than what they can heal, right? But the problem is that with anti-heal, and I kind of started to realize that if you have a full team, and let's say Thor, for example, and if I walled someone and they had, and I've had anti-heal, and the whole team's going like self-healing, and then I hit all 5 people. All 5 of those guys are applied with that anti-heal. Now, since there's no anti-heal, when I do wall, and then I don't have the anti-heal, and it's like, and I'm not saying this enemy team's like healing, right? I'm just using the example of like, okay, here's an example of a team that is going with a lot of self heals. So if I did wall a team of 5, now all it takes is like Ra to use his little circle and just keep healing the team, even though I stunned him. So after like playing, I came to the conclusion, I'm like, I'm not the biggest fan of this no anti-heal thing. I understand it completely. I read the notes. I understand it. Digested it, right? But the more I play this game, the more I'm starting to realize I don't really like it. Especially when Sylvanas came out. Oh my gosh. Sylvanas just dominates in the Guardian carry lane. Also, Iset. Iset's been quite annoying. And I don't know, I feel like I would like to believe that all of the gods are balanced in a certain way. But I also believe, yes, there's metas. There's going to be meta shifts. There's going to be gods that are stronger than the other ones. Blah, blah, blah. I totally understand that. I'm just afraid that, let's say we get all the gods. This is going to be Smite 1. What do I mean by that? Is in Smite 1, there's a lot of like, off balance and stuff like that. Like in Smite 1, you can play any of the gods and, do somewhat well. But there's a lot of gods in Smite 1 now that it's just unplayable because they're so bad. And the more I think about it, and I understand, they build each character ground up, +1s, blah, blah, blah. I totally understand that. But I'm slowly to start to see, like, Cupid's not really that good. What was it? There was a couple gods that I generally think they're just not that good. If you're not playing them, if you are playing them, then you're just feeding your team. It's the biggest like L in the game. Like you pick this god, you're like, oh yeah, because he looks cool, and then you pick him up, and I guess he's like really bad in this meta, and then you die. I mean, I understand. All games have it. All games have the meta shifts and all that. But what I was trying to say is, in Smite 1, since the game's been out for years and years and years, and then they just keep popping out these gods, I feel like some gods just gain overlooked to the point that they don't know how to buff them, they don't know how to change them, all that. So, going back to Smite 2, with all these new gods, and Dodgy's just around the corner. I don't know, I'm prepared for Dodgy, but at the same time, I feel like what's the term? What I'm trying to say is like there's certain gods in this game that they are dishing out, but there's no counterplay against it, and sometimes it feels like that. It's not a build issue, right? Because my build's decent, right? You can skip all the way to the end and look at my build. And I watch tons of YouTube, like other people play this game. I watch tons of Twitch. I watch tons of other people, pros, all that. So I have somewhat of a knowledge of like what to build, what not to build. And I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm just saying like I don't think it's a build issue anymore. I just feel like there's certain things that it just makes the game super unplayable, and to the point like it feels like there's going to be a certain god that's going to come out, and there's no one knows how to counter it. Because I believe in my games, or just Smite in general, I've always liked the idea of always counter build. Always have a certain god to counter with that other god. It's like for example, let's say Izanami is just super OP meta, whatever, right? And then there's like, oh, there's no counterplay against it, but then they introduce a different god to counter with it. I feel like that would be fine, because like then they're like, oh, Izanami's just dominating, and I get it. They can nerf her, all that. But I feel like that's just the wrong approach half the time. Like, I understand nerfing. I understand buffing. And then probably change the meta so it's not super impactful of, like, fighting against a certain god for quite some time. And be quite annoyed by it. But what I'm trying to get at is, like, I wish there's... like Issa, right? I feel like Issa, it's really annoying. I wish there's God to really counteract with her, right? But there isn't really a lot. And I get it. There's going to be more gods in the game. Like, all those questions you're going to probably type in the comments, I'm probably already have it set in my mind. Like, I understand it completely. But what I'm trying to get at is I feel like there's less counterplay in this game than it should be. Like, you go to any other game, there's always a counter play in a different game. And I'm not naming some examples or anything, but I've always seen that, even if it's just not Smite related. I don't know, it's just weird. But in Smite, they're like, oh, this character's too OP, let's just nerf him. But I feel like that's just not going to fix the issue. And eventually, it's just going to be like Smite 1. Because there was slowly building some characters, and then now there's just too many characters to the point that they can't really have a good balance between them. And then so other characters are just going to be really left behind compared to the other characters. And you see it in Smite 1, and maybe I'm not using the best words to describe that, but maybe you can try to understand where I'm coming from. So, no anti-heal. I kind of like, I was like, you know what? A lot of people don't care about it. I know Final K doesn't care. I know Interact doesn't care. I know like majority of the other big other YouTubers, church streamers, all that play the game like nonstop, wake up, play Smite, go to sleep, right? But for me, a casual, and then hopefully I can go back to rank. But the point that the reason why I don't play rank is because I feel like there's just no point. Honestly, there's not really a reward system to it, unless you get a border. Like, sure. I remember in Smite 1 that the reason why I played ranked in Smite 1 is because I get a skin out of it, and that's what motivated me. But in this game, there's just no motivation, so I don't really play rank, but I play casual. But I am also hindering myself to use an action cam. I think of it like a challenge that most people would not do, is like force themselves to keep playing action camera. And then I had a thought of like maybe next year I'll see how far I can go with ranked with action camera, since I've been playing it for ever since it came out, right? So that was the idea. But the more I keep playing this game, I'm not having fun. And I don't think if I even swap the action camera to regular camera, because trust me, I've played regular camera in Smite 1 for the last 10 years. I'm immune to it. I actually enjoy action camera because I played a lot of Marvel Rivals, but I kind of slowly stopped. So even if I did like little things like that, I don't think I'm still gonna have fun. I feel like the game has a lot of like balancing issues. I feel like some aspects are just way too strong than the others. I'm just not really feeling it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just not having fun. Like, when I play this game, I try to have a positive mindset. And most of my videos, right, I'm usually positive. I always look the most positive outcomes, right? Because I don't want to be negative all the time. I don't want to be that guy who's like, oh, that's the firebug. He's always ranting about this game. I never like that kind of content. And it shouldn't be that way. And that's just me. A perfect world that there's going to be videos that people just don't complain. Because if you go to any other community, it's just less like, less people complain. If that makes any sense. I feel like every time I boot up like Smite, there's gonna be toxic people, which I get it, MOBA, whatever. Same as League, whatever. I played League, whatever. And I understand. And I'm not saying all the people in Smite are toxic. It's just there's a lot of them. And that's just, and I get it, this video doesn't really showcase it either. But behind the scenes, there's a lot of people that are toxic. And that's just bound to happen. Another reason is just, again, balancing issues. And I've seen it. I played it. I feel like Sun Kong's aspect should be changed. I'm not a big fan of it. How he can just poke you from half the fucking map and then get, Stefan Merton, and then bird 2 times and then get out scot-free. And then he can ult if shit really hits the fans. It's just, it's so tilting. And of course, they don't know how to nerf it, because if they nerf him, then he's unliable. If they nerf the items, then mages get affected by it. That's why I was just like, it's just a bad design. I understand. Probably fun to play, but not fun to fight against. And that's the problem. And I feel like that's a huge thing with how Smite 2 is going. It's just the devs play it and they're like, yeah, this is fun. But it's not fun to fight against. That's the problem. And that's just example, right, with Sun Wukong. I generally think it's just not that, like, it's good. I just don't think it's super crazy good to the point like it's a meta shift. It's like it's super annoying, but it's just an inconvenience for everyone that's trying to kill the Sun Wukong, but you can't because he just burns away 2 times and then he ults. Another annoying god, in my opinion, is Giannis. There's not really a counterplay against him. Like, yeah, I understand. He has his ult, he portals, and the only thing that does damage is his one ability. But it's so tilting to see like him being one shot and you can't kill him. And unless you're playing Mercury, unless you're consistently playing Mercury, to try to even get up to him, or even Mordred, right? Mordred with his ult, he can go through walls, and that's the only like things. Another thing, Mordred. Holy crap, dude! How is Mordred still in the game? Mordred, Aladdin. I never find fun fighting against these gods. Especially Mordred. Mordred just dominates in solo. To the point like it's like, oh man, I regret playing fucking solo. And that's why I don't really play solo anymore. I used to love solo lane. But Mordred's there. And most of these people, they pick these niche gods, not niche, but the gods that are in meta, they act like they're good. But I'm like, you're just relying on meta picks. There's no skill in that. So Mordred with his aspect, just dash, 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 do all those combos. And I'm over here playing, like, this is like I'm playing Thor solo. I throw my hammer, and I'm waiting for like, what, 10 seconds for my cooldown as Mordred just like double ults me. It's so tilting. And then he just spams. There's no skill behind it. I don't know. And then another one is Aladdin. I feel like Aladdin's so annoying. And I get it. I get why they have a struggle to balance him. Because with lobbies like this, like casuals, not a lot of people do perform pretty well. However, in ranked matches, it's just annoying. And when I do find myself fighting against a really good Aladdin in a casual, it's hell. It is absolutely hell to fight against. So it's just those little things that it's just like, you know, I'm trying to avoid. That's why I don't that's why I don't try to like make videos of like, oh, he'll be playing Aladdin. I'm like, is it really a skill? Or me playing Mordred? Is that really a flex? Oh man, look at this pentakill that I got. Playing Mordred. It's like, yeah, but you look it up online. Majority of people can get pentakills with Mordred. I don't know. That's just me. And it just sucks because I want to enjoy the variety of gods in the game. That's why there's so many of them. Because if there wasn't, then the game might be stale, right? Imagine if this game only had like 5 gods in the game. That'd be really boring. So they keep pumping out these gods. Pump, just one after another, and there. And then have the gods just feel like they're unplayable sometimes. But maybe that's just me. But just a little inconvenience about stuff like that. I kind of just don't want to keep playing this game. Or probably just take a break. Probably come back to it in 2026. Because, I don't know, just nothing really excites me in this game anymore. I like the new changes of the Conquest. I like the moon, the sun and moon what the fuck do you ever call it? The day and night cycle. I think that's pretty cool. I like the beacon in the middle that you have to fight and contest. I think that's a cool change. But I like how Smite 2 looks. I'm running on an RTX 3060, not the best graphics card, but it's doing pretty well. Still getting updates, so maybe next year I can get a something higher graphics card so I can start pumping out 4K videos. But there's things that I do enjoy Smite, of course. And I don't want the game to die. I'm not saying that either. Just because I'm not having fun doesn't mean others are not. Right? But for me personally, just in lately, I just find myself just not having fun in this game. I'm kind of tired of like the spam laughs, spam taunts. Tired of people picking like meta characters because that like it takes no skill. It really just takes no skill. And that like frustrates me the most. Seeing someone, like anyone, like a fucking infant, picking up this game, pick up a meta, like a meta character, or something that's broken or whatever, and they laugh and taunt and act like they're the best, even though they're not. But let me know in the comments. Maybe I'm being dramatic, maybe I'm overreacting, but in this video, I'm probably just going to take a break from Smite. So this might be the last one for 2025, maybe, but I'll update you guys. And sorry for my Smite subscribers. I will come back. So, but thank you so much if you made it all the way this far. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Also, if you agree, disagree, just let me know in the comments. All right, bye-bye.